Alright guys, here's everything that you need to know about the brand new Campfire chat that just came out today. So they did a live stream. It's about an hour plus long, but I'm here to summarize all of the important information that you guys want to know. So first off, the most important thing is the new Abattoir of Zir. They did show off some gameplay. Basically what it looks like is it's a nightmare dungeon, but it's kind of similar to a Greater Rift in Diablo 3, where there's a little timer. You're going to have to reach the requirements within the time frame, and if you do not actually complete it, well, you don't get the glyph reward at the very end, similar to how, well, you don't get the gem upgrade in Diablo 3 if you don't finish it. But as far as the difficulty goes, they did show off some things, and I'll get into that. So first off, I want to go ahead and start off with some of the things that I think are very important. There was a leaked survey, and I did cover that leaked survey as well. It was talking about for Diablo 4 to have some sort of like incentives for some special additions to the game, unlocking uniques earlier or legendary powers, and they said in the live stream that there is no plans to add power to Diablo 4 via paying for it. So as far as that goes, they're kind of just saying no, I guess, on that. So as far as the survey, does that mean it's real? Does it mean it's fake? I mean, most people have been pretty vocal about it. So at the end of the day, either way, I'll take it as a win either way. There's going to be something new coming out very, very soon. So there's going to be the Midwinter Blight and the Abattoir of Zir. That's like the main focus of the point of the live stream, as well as talking about Season 3 and even some of the stuff that's coming even further beyond that. We're talking about like loot filters and stuff. So Midwinter Blight is going to be coming out on December 12th. So this is what it's going to be looking like. It looks like it's some sort of area, and there are monsters that may look a little bit different. It looks kind of like a recolor, and there are some cosmetics to unlock. So these are just going to be cosmetics. They're not like any special legendary powers or anything like that. But at the end of the day, free cosmetics is always welcomed. And then on top of that, the Abattoir of Zir actually comes out before. So Abattoir of Zir will come out in less than a week, and this is what you guys probably more likely want to know info on. Same thing with myself. So as far as the Abattoir of Zir, you have to complete your entire season journey. So if you have not done that, open up your season journey. That can be acquired via just opening up the battle pass, and it's on like the left side. Open up that, complete your entirety of the season journey, because if you do not, well, you're not going to be able to access this new form of content. So these are the new Blood Forged Sigils. This is the new content that you will be interested in doing. And they did show off, at least with the Sigil 1 tier, what it requires, and it looks like it's going to be requiring 60,000 gold as well as 800 sigil powder. Now, as far as it going up, it goes up until tier 20, but what's interesting with this, at least via here, it's showing tier 1, 6, 2, 3, 10, and 20. So I'm not sure if it goes in increments of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down to 20, or if there's just 1, 2, 3, 6, 10, 20. Maybe this was like the dev server, because they did mention that they were on a dev server, so maybe this could be the reason why it doesn't go all the way up and there's some missing, but I don't know, maybe it's the way it's designed. But nonetheless, that's what it requires. So if you guys want to try to prep for this, you will need to acquire sigil powder. So maybe just doing nightmare dungeons, it's actually worth it to go ahead and get your sigil 100s. Keep on just doing those back to back to back, no matter how bad the map is. That way you can start farming that sigil powder. Now you can also do these in a group, but there's a very important note on this. If you die in your solo, the whole thing ends. If you're in a group and any member, okay, this is important, any member dies, it's over. You failed the entire run. So it's going to be very important to have a lot of survivability for this new form of content. On top of that, I tried to look at what they were using, and they disabled the damage that they were dealing, so I couldn't really check the damage. However, looking at how much armor they had, they failed a sigil 10 over here, but this is how much armor they had. They did have disobedience, and the person that was playing, Filthy Rich, looked like they knew what they were doing. Like, I was actually looking at all the pieces of gear, and pretty much it was relatively decent. It wasn't like sometimes when like any video game journalist or something hops in, their character's like a really bad, they're a really bad player, but it did not seem that way. So as far as what you're looking for, you're probably going to need to be quite tanky for this to go on. I'm not sure the exact armor numbers. Remember, it was theory crafted to have like 15,000 armor, and I'll be dropping a build guide on Sorceress to get 15k armor and all max res, because that's going to be the most important thing. Is trying to be able to survive this content is important, because again, if you die once, that's it. You rip the run, especially because the modifiers, when you actually run these Bloodforged sigils, you don't actually get to see what they are. And this is going to be actually a major problem specifically for sorceresses. If you have ever ran into they do double damage, basically, or I think it's like, the keyword is like 100% more damage to barriers, so you could just get absolutely just obliterated. So that is going to be one tactic that will be kind of hard to be able to see, because you literally cannot see it when you open up that Bloodforged sigil, and when you go in, you can't even see the modifier. It's going to be something where you're just going to have to be able to tell, oh man, I'm taking way too much damage. Maybe they are doing some bonus damage to whatever, element or something that you might not have the resistance caps for. So, again, the gameplay that they showed off had 10,000 armor. This is obviously in town, so it's not counting disobedience. And the person looked like they knew what they were doing. So this content is going to be what seems like to be quite difficult. So they showed off again gameplay over here. And as far as it goes, yeah, you just try to kill monsters and you have to reach the timer. This one was on a Sigil 1. They just absolutely obliterated it. And the most important thing that you probably want to know about is the Tears of Blood getting nerfed. So they didn't officially say if core stats are going to be considered all of the stats. I mean, strength, dex, willpower, int, because that's what the game should actually register. Now, if you guys haven't seen, I have uploaded a video that shows off in the Maxwell Builder. It could potentially give you 4,000. Now, there is some speculation thinking that, well, it's only your character's core stat. So let's say sorcerers, for example, this would be intelligence only. Even if that's the case, you could still get 1,000 damage with the Tears of Blood. Yeah, you can go up to 4,000 if it counts all core stats, because as far as I am aware of, core stat just means any of the main stats that exist in the game, which would be insane. But again, even if it's not that insane, there's no way that you can just turn down 1,000% damage. So Tears of Blood doesn't seem like it's getting nerfed. A lot of people were thinking that this was going to be changed because it's just way too crazy. Basically, every single build will require this. Now, as far as I'm aware of, this whole Abattoir of Zero, this new content, will not last forever. It's going to last until the season ends, but it will not last forever. But they're kind of looking at, adding it eventually, maybe in some sort of form. They want to kind of test things out here. So it's going to be great for leveling up glyphs as well. Look at how much glyph XP you're getting. There's 1,000 glyphs XP. Look at that at the very top of there. Available to allocate 1,000. So if you're interested in leveling up glyphs, this is going to be endgame content, and it's going to be quite hard. And it's going to start basically at Sigil 100. So this would be going even further beyond it. So if your character cannot do Sigil 100, you're not going to be able to do the Abattoir of Zero content more than likely, because, well, it's going to be harder. So the monsters don't scale one level every single tier that you go up. It seems to be actually less than that. So what the exact numbers are at that Sigil like 20, we don't actually know yet. But there's some other notes I wanted to go ahead and give you guys really fast. So again, the mods are hidden. So yeah, GG Sorks or anyone that runs Seperate, you could instantly pop and then your run is failed. If you die, I already mentioned this, but yeah, if you die or anyone in the group dies, it's over. And they said that it's not going to be something where the monsters are just going to start scaling crazy amounts of damage. It's going to be more of a DPS check. So this is timestamp. If anyone wants to hear exactly what they say, it's at like 49 minutes of the live stream. But it didn't really go into detail. It just said that you're going to need to try to get your damage up. So my assumption is that more likely the Ball Lightning Sorceress as well as maybe the Hoda Barb will be pretty solid for these runs. But again, with the plus 1,000% damage, you could probably run a lot of builds, but you're going to have to do a couple of these just to get your build up and running. As far as the glyph also being able to be transferred, I don't think we can do that because there's no inventory to put it in, because that's something that I was considering as well. Can I just go ahead and play like my Ball Lightning Sorceress, level that glyph up, and then go on to my non-meta character, maybe my Summon Necromancer? No, it's not going to be something we can transfer over, I think. And then on top of that, they did talk briefly about Season 3, 4, and in the future. So they talked about 925s, basically. If you don't do Duriel, if you don't do the World Boss, it's really hard to get those 925s. This could be changing in Season 3. Also, in the Abattoir of Zero, I was wondering, are the items going to be scaling? They didn't mention, because if you go to Sigil 100, you have a higher chance of getting 925s because the range starts closing in and going towards the 925. But if we go up plus 20, we can basically get 900s to 925. So you get a higher chance at getting 925s in theory, but you'd still have to look at the items. And ideally, I think at Sigil 100, all the items should just be 925. But anyways, they did mention some more itemization in Season 4 or 5 in the future. They did say that streamers have seen it, specifically like the Diablo partners, and I am a part of the Diablo partners, and I have seen it. I can't talk too much about it, but all I will say, guys, is you will be very excited to see what comes out for itemization. They also talked about loot filters, and they said that, well, they're going to be changing itemization. So, and that's going to be happening in Season 4/5. So basically, they made fun of the whole, like, you only deal damage on Tuesdays, which is something that I've mentioned. It's like, you know, you only deal damage on Tuesdays while your mom is baking cookies. There's so many of these very specific things with the damages, and I want to say that more than likely they're just going to remove all the damage, like bonus lightning, bonus to like poison damage. All these things are just going to be flat damage. That is more than likely what's going to be changing. Can't go too much into details with it, but I want to say it's awesome. I wish I could share it with the screenshots and some of the stuff that I want to share with you guys, but stay tuned. I will be covering that soon, TM. But basically, as far as loot filters go, since they're going to be addressing itemization in Season 4/5, my guess is probably not even until Season 6 will we get a loot filter, but we may not even need one. I say may not because, well, you're going to have to wait and see. As far as the Midwinter Blight, this does not last forever because the season technically ends on the 23rd. However, the Midwinter Blight ends on January 2nd. So that's like the event where you can get all the little cosmetics and where they're going to have like this little like different area that you can go to. And instead of it being like green or red, it's purple. So that's one of the newer things that will be coming out. And again, that starts on the 12th, and then Zier will be starting on the 5th, but this goes pretty much, they said pretty much till the end, so I don't know if that's like one day before. And then also, surprisingly, they announced Season 30 of Diablo 3. The patch notes are coming out tomorrow, so if you guys, you know, are still playing Diablo 3, you know, I recently played Season 29, and it was a blast, and we will also be playing Season 30 for Diablo 3, and if you haven't played it, well, we'll see when it comes out, but it's always great to be able to mix and match, you know, playing all the action RPGs. Also, Path of Exile is getting a new expansion, and we'll be playing that as well, so much action RPG goodness coming out very, very soon. And so if you guys do want to see the patch notes, they are going to be coming out not only with the Diablo patch notes, but there's also going to be some other patch notes for Diablo 4, so if you guys are new here and you want to be up to date and you want to see that, don't miss out, hit subscribe, turn that bell, and I'll tell you guys, after looking at all the patch notes, and I'll tell you guys probably what will be more likely the best choices for classes to run for the avatars here. But take care, and let me know guys your thoughts on any of the things down below. Peace out.